And we are officially live. Welcome,
Excellent.
everyone.
Welcome. Hey, Jackie, how are you?
Super excited to be here again today, and actually more excited that you're going to take that steering wheel today. I've
Yeah.
been telling everybody that they
Oh,
need to
no.
be here because you are going to be behind the steering wheel, and
Oh,
I'm going to
goodness.
be the one that's going to start talking a little bit.
Goodness. All right. Well, no pressure. No pressure. I guess we'll take a moment. We'll center ourselves here and get started. I'm actually excited to do this. Typically, what happens is I run off and do my thing in the background, and I don't really have to like talk to anyone about it. And I don't know about you, but I always do my best work when I talk out loud and like say my ideas out loud. And
Mm,
I feel like that's like a big step for a lot of people, including myself. So being able to just talk to you about it and have you kind of be part of that brainstorming or at least a sounding board. uh,
yeah.
and obviously, I'm privileged. I get to ask you questions when I get into trouble, like, hey, Jackie, you know help.
I think it's a creative thing, you know.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that are doing the same type of thing. You know, when they're on their own, it takes longer to do something than having somebody to speak to, because then you're like, oh, okay, now I'm getting this whole idea. I mean, it's
Yeah,
like you say, it's a bouncing board, so it's
I
quite
agree.
exciting.
I agree. So we're gonna do a couple of things before everything else, though. Next week we have our marketing 101 workshop again. All right, we
Mm,
ran the same one last month. We're doing the same one again this month. This is the session you need to get your marketing really locked in. All right,
mm,
if you have any issues with the theory, any concepts, any things that you want to explore, you're not sure what type of channel to use, what type of communication to put out on, a specific channel, that's the session for you.
mm.
Obviously, today, it's an open Q&A. If you have any questions, you can ask. But we're going to be focusing on websites and designing that website that we want to kind of put together. So, with that said, Clarabelle, I'm also excited. Hopefully, I don't make this into a big old disaster, but I think we should be fine. We're in safe hands. Jackie's here to bail us out, so I'm fully confident. So, a couple of ideas that we wanted to talk about, Jackie. Last time we talked about this session being the start of a new template that we're
Yeah.
working on. I mentioned last time I'd like to do something more mobile focused. All right,
Yes,
mobile
definitely.
first. We need to figure out what to talk about, right? So,
Yeah,
what is
I
something
actually got something. I've got actually or something to ask you. Seeing that I'm not the marketing person, really the guru here, and that is something that a lot of people is asking. A lot of people these days coming online has got the same type of questions, because we all know when a person comes online, they are being bombarded with doing keyword research to see if whatever you have got available, or the product that you want to sell, if there is actually a demand for it.
Yes.
But there is the other side of that coin. And I think that is where the marketing type of thing comes in. And I don't think people understand this. Whatever product you have in mind, or whatever product is available currently online, once upon a time, that product did not exist. There
Hmm.
was no market for it.
Right.
And that is the key, because a lot of people say, Jackie, I've got this idea, but I'm doing keyword research and I'm looking around on the internet and I can't find anybody doing it.
Hmm.
Is that a good sign or not? Should I go into that direction or not? And I believe that is where marketing comes in.
Yes.
Um, if you've got an idea and you
Mm.
believe it's something that can work, and you've spoken to a few people and they are getting excited about it, then it probably is an opportunity for you to pursue, because nobody else is doing it. Maybe it's a brand new thing that can put the world on fire. You do not know.
Right.
But then it comes back to marketing. Am I right, Pia?
I think you're so right. You're right on so many levels, and I'd like to focus on a few things. You mentioned there's always the opportunity to be first in the market. right? And that's such a great, like if you find something that is not a saturated market, you need to jump, right? You need to go in. But also, I want everyone, before they jump, to ask themselves the question, am I solving a problem?
Mm.
It's a binary question, right? It's a yes or no, right? Sometimes, you might get into, you might overthink yourself into a problem, right? But sometimes you might overthink yourself out of a problem that you've uncovered. So
Yeah.
if you do in fact solve a problem, jump into the market. Keyword research doesn't matter as much as solving a problem.
Exactly.
All of marketing doesn't matter as much as solving a real problem, right? In a lot of ways, marketing is just communicating that problem that you fixed,
Yeah.
uh,
Exactly.
or rather the solution to that problem. So I want people to get out of the mindset of giving themselves reasons why not, because that's how we're programmed, right? We're always looking for the reason why not to do something, and in a lot of ways, that's the wrong way to think about things, right? If you,
Exactly.
like you're saying, if you have uncovered a problem, jump in feet first. The rest you'll figure out on the way. All right, your keyword research, your websites, your email. And that's why, personally, that's why I wish I found Builderall sooner in my life, just because having the opportunity to expand into the platform as I find different ways to communicate about my solution is really liberating, right? Because I don't have to go out and learn a new tool or get a new subscription,
Yeah.
and sometimes looking around the tools, you might get creative. So let me share my screen
Absolutely.
and show you how we
Absolutely.
can do that. In a lot of ways, I look at this tool list. Hold on, here we go. This tool list, and let's say you're just poking around and you say, "Hey, what's this social proof?" And if you don't have a social proof on your website, maybe it's time to add one. So you
Yeah.
pop in there, it takes you 20 minutes, and you set up your social proof, and then you see an increase in your conversion rate. Why not? Like, why aren't you doing that? Right.
Exactly.
And that's how, had you been on another platform, you might not have figured out social proof or figured out your browser notifications or anything else for that matter. So that's why I think having access to a platform like Builderall gives you that opportunity to explore, look at things that you don't have, things that you're sort of lacking in your marketing mix, and just get in there.
And you know what, Pierre? This week I was actually busy brainstorming for myself for an idea that I have, and I was thinking there is so many different ways of building a website, and you don't necessarily even have to use the normal way of building a site. I'm not just going to try and explain to you what I'm thinking. Just looking at our tools. I was actually showcasing our tools in a video this week. And I said it was all about lead generation. How can you generate leads with a tool? Looking at all of those tools, which of the tools is going to jump out with the least effort? And you're not going to believe it, but I've created a landing page with the quiz builder.
Okay.
And that's it.
Yeah.
That was my landing page.
Yeah.
I connected a domain and used the quiz builder as my landing page where people are going to land up and fill in a quiz. Because we know so many people like to do certain type of, whether it's a personality test or whatever quiz that you want to get out there to generate leads. It's probably one of the fastest ways, because it depends on obviously in which niche you find yourself.
Sure.
But I found that was such a good idea of making sure that you can generate leads without creating even a page with different kinds of panels. You've got one panel with the embedded quiz, and you connect your domain, and there you go.
That's a great idea. That's a great idea. I think maybe we'll use that for today's session. So we're thinking today it's a brand new template. People in the comments, drop in, let us know if you have an idea that you wanna float out. But I think maybe we do something exactly like that, where we build a website, we build a landing page. On the landing page, we can have a quiz, and we can set up a quiz. And then maybe we also set up a booking calendar on the bottom,
Yeah.
and lock
It's
everything
literally
together.
like a one panel with one button.
Mhm.
That's it.
Yeah.
Just getting those people to click that button to get their stuff online, to get
I
the
love it.
information that they need.
I love it. I always like to start with a plan, at least just to rough out what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use Canva here. You can use Lucid app. You can use whatever you want. You can use Funnel Builder on the platform. Let's just start here because it's just faster for me to type. And I'm thinking, maybe the first panel. First of all, like what the topic's going to be. I'm leaning more towards agency, like an ad agency, or yeah, we can just stick with that if that's fine with you.
Yeah.
Agency, single page. Cool. Let's just call it this. All right. And then on the top, obviously, as we mentioned last time, I want to raise awareness. I want to pique someone's interest. I want them to desire working with me and make that decision. So have that desire and then finally take action. The reason why I like the quiz, for all of you marketing nerds out there, the reason why I like the quiz, excuse me.
The nerds.
yeah, which I do like the nerds too. The reason I like it is it gives people a softer way to convert. So instead of just having them book a calendar, which might be too much, it could be good for some people, but it could be too committing for others. Giving them a quiz says, hey, is this right for you? Go through the process, and then by them going through the quiz, they might decide to commit or not again. But it's a softer way. It's the same reason why ebooks work, right? Or downloadables work. So.
And what I like about the quiz is also, besides the fact that you are getting people interested to complete the quiz, you are generating the lead and you know where the interest is. So it depends on the different kinds of questions that they answer. You're going to start getting an idea of who your audience is, and you would know what type of information to sell to them. We have actually got a client that I've been working with in the last month or so. He's an author. And a top seller on Amazon. And he's making use of our quiz to actually get people to understand what is the type of books that they like to purchase from his existing clients. And according to that quiz, he creates new books. That is his main form of surveying his existing tribe, if you want to put it that way.
Brilliant.
And then he generates those new books. And it sells like hotcakes on Amazon.
I bet it does. He's baking in the research right in there. So that's actually really smart. What type of agency are we looking to build out today? I'm thinking, I always like to give a focus. You just mentioned authorship. It could be the trades for blue collar type of.
I was thinking AI. Seeing that we've got so much AI going on at the moment, and I'm thinking about a quiz. What type of quiz can fit into AI? Maybe a quiz to say which type of AI will suit your needs, and then the quiz could go maybe something around whether they need to create images. Do you want an AI that creates your SEO? Do you want to write one that creates your blog posts? Something like that.
Okay. I was leaning more towards the trades, but I see what you're saying. Maybe we can meet in the middle.
The trades is also a good idea. I was just thinking about why I'm saying AI is there's different kinds of services that you can attach to that. If a person says he's looking for an AI to do his SEO, then you can have automated email sequences going out to him that your agency offers automated SEO. That was just the brainstorming idea. I mean, I don't know what your idea is with the trading.
Well, the trades here in the US are a really great place to have marketing agencies, because usually there's a lot of demand for the marketing and for the work itself, right? So people need plumbers, electricians,
Oh, yes.
agents,
Okay.
things of that nature. So I'm thinking we would market to those businesses, right? If you're a mason, if you're a plumber, if you're an electrician, you know, we would put out ads. You would respond to that ad, land on this page, and go through that section on your phone, because I feel like
Okay, yes.
that would match the target audience behavior. Typically, these people are out and about. You know, they're on the road, they're traveling between jobs, so they're not really on their computer. And so, because
Yeah,
today we
I
wanted
get
to
it.
be on like mobile first, that's why I'm thinking that could be a good thing.
Perfect.
But I love the idea of adding AI in there, and I think that probably should be an element in our brainstorming. So we can do that too. So
Cool.
this way we get the best of both worlds, right? So marketing agency for the, if I can type today. All right, for the trades. All right, something like, so I love that the awareness panel at the very top of the page to be something really direct, really straightforward, you know, so
Yes.
that when people come in from the ad, because that's how we need to be thinking. The website alone is nothing, right? The website is part of a
Yeah.
chain of actions.
Events.
Right, exactly. So the event prior to this was, you know, presumably someone seeing our ad or seeing some organic content promoting the business.
Yeah.
When they land here, it should reaffirm the fact that this agency that we're creating is targeting the trades. It helps me lock in my target audience, and it helps me filter out people who don't fit in my target audience. You know, if I have
Okay,
someone
cool.
who's an accountant that comes in here and he sees marketing agency for the trades, they're going to know that this business is not for them. Right. So that
Yeah,
way
so
I have
the trades is basically different from a local business because, I mean, you can get local businesses and then you get trades, people that are professionals in what they do.
yes. Well, they could be both, right? They could be
Okay.
both. So like a trade could be a plumber himself or a plumber business, right? But that is local.
Okay.
So I guess maybe in South Africa you would say a local business,
A
which
local business.
yeah, you could say that in the US too. Uh, so let's just say local business, right?
Okay.
In the interest portion, I want to reaffirm this message and tell people that I have expertise in this field or I've solved a specific problem. You know, typically in the interest phase, and I'm thinking out loud here, people in the comments, you know, throw in your ideas into the mix if you have any. At this point, I always like when the problem and its solution get communicated. So I'll give you guys an
Yeah.
example. So if I were in the trades, the problem in these local businesses is a lot of times people uh, don't have leads. So that's a big issue.
It's a big issue.
Or their leads are really low quality, meaning these are people who are going to book with them and then cancel later, or book with them and, you know, the service tech goes out to the job site and the owner of the house isn't there and they
Yeah.
can't do any work. You know, so like the quality of the leads could be an issue that we're targeting. The budget, the client price point could be an issue too, right? If we're saying, okay, you know, you want to level up your business, but your clientele won't pay more than a certain amount, you know, this is how we can fix that for you. So I guess let's focus on one of these problems. I would say lead acquisition is a huge issue
A
for a
big
lot of
one.
people. So let's say lock in your leads with expert insight. Another version of this, and we can brainstorm here. I always like to go through like several ideas.
Yeah.
And for people who are just joining, I'm going through this exercise. We're kind of framing up our idea, and then we're going to go into the builder and start actually building the page. So doing this work on the front end helps a lot.
A lot.
So boost. So let's say here, I want to say fill up calendar and focus on the work itself. These usually my experience, and I've worked a lot with trades, with local businesses who are more on the blue collar side. These people love to work, right? They love to do the work itself. They don't like to sit in an office and worry about their website, worry about their leads, look at their calendar, things of that nature. You know, a lot of times they have someone at the office sort of managing that admin role. And I think that's what makes them great clients, because as long as they're working, they're happy. You know what I mean? So they're happy, you're happy, everyone's happy. And that's what makes a really good mix. And remember, guys, we're not looking, our target audience is the tradesperson, right? So that's why I'm writing it this way. You know, this isn't for an HVAC business to the customer. This is from the agency to the HVAC business or trades.
Yeah.
So let's just leave these here. We can brainstorm after. Desire would be telling them that the solution is really accessible. All right. So we can say book. Although I might be skipping a step here. So desire could be something like, let's say 100 local businesses in Boston. Trust. What are we going to call this agency? Trust us. Let's just say us. Here
for now.
Yeah. We can have insert agency name here.
I like that you're using a number, because numbers is a big thing online. Right. You know, if you think about even when you launch a product, or you say, you know, the first 100 clients is getting it at a discounted rate, or and if people see that even in a blog post on a number is just making that a little bit more desirable.
Yep, I agree.
It's like that fear of missing out, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And here on the action side, we can say book a call or take the quiz
to get started.
Yeah, to find the right match, to get started, like to get started. So with that really simple 4-panel site, I'm going to hop into the builder. We're going to set that up on the front end. And then we're going to look at some templates, right? And then we're going to get to work. So I'm going to say, let me just back up here. In the Cheetah Builder, for everyone who might not be familiar with the Builderall platform, I'm inside the website builder. You navigate here from the tools, website builder, and then I'm going to go to new website. And here's the panel that lets me choose either from a template or a blank page. We're going to start from a blank page. But if you wanted to start from a template, easy peasy, right? We have many different trades related or local business related templates that are really awesome already. And we're going to start with this blank template, excuse me. All right, I'm going to skip this tour, and we're planning on 4 panels, right? Awareness, interest, desire, action. For those who are not familiar, I'll say this for maybe the 100th time. ADA principle, awareness, interest, desire, action, is the mental process people go through to make decisions. So as marketers, we want to match that because we want to help people make decisions, and that's why we use it. So I'm going to hop on to the Google machine, and we're going to say local business, well, agency website templates. And we can go into this theme forest here. All right, we have different categories. Let's just browse around, see what they have. Typically what happens is the second you say agency template, it's usually way on the creative side, you know, and to come back and think about our target audience, which should be our primary focus as marketers. If I present a really complex website, people are the normal blue collar tradesperson isn't going to be about that, right? It's not. I don't think it's going to impress them too much, and even if it does, they're going to be on their phones. That's what the target or the objective of this website is. It's going to be a mobile first website, so it's not really going to land. So we're looking for a simple website design that's really direct, that has some really nice, beautiful touches that elevate.
But, you know what I was just thinking now, Pierre? I don't know. You know, my mind is just running now because I create a lot of local business websites myself, and I just had this idea now. With an agency, you normally go and you go to your website agency, and it's like, okay, I'm a web agency and I offer this services, blah 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 blah. Right. But what if you can have a main web agency site with your main domain? And then let's say you're focusing on trades, let's say electricians, for an example. Then you create and because it's mobile first, you are not going to have that animation and all those weird things happening. It's going to be a very, very simple site.
Right.
So you're going to go and create a subdomain for electricians, a subdomain. It's same as your main domain, but subdomain for electricians, subdomain for plumbers, and having images in your web agency resonating with them a little bit.
Sure.
So it's not this main kind of thing. It's almost like letting them know that you're a web agency that understands them, and your design has got a little bit of what that trade is about. So when you start promoting it to social media, you're obviously focusing, let's say, electricians, and they land on your electrician site. I was just thinking, do you think that it could be a problem?
The only thing I see in there is like the subdomain itself. I don't know how SEO responds to the whole subdomain.
But that's if you want to go SEO route, though.
Yeah, I guess either way, I love having a targeted landing page, whether it's a subdomain or it's like your domain / whatever.
Yeah. Because I know that SEO, like Google, see a subdomain as a new domain. They don't see it as part of your main domain.
Right. Yeah. And so that could be just a question that you need to ask yourself as a business owner. Do I want this website to behave completely separate, or do I want to sort of create this environment? Right?
Yeah. I was just thinking that's just
I think either way, having a unique landing page per trade is a really good idea. So all the images, the content can be really targeted, even if the form and the quiz itself are the same. Exactly. So looking at this, I like a few things that are going on this website. Simple header, maybe too simple for me. And then the way they show their work is really nice. Although,
we don't want to do the animation kind of thing on mobile.
We need to think about what this looks like on a mobile phone. And so yeah, I mean, this is your basic website, right? Nothing really exciting. This doesn't, to quote the great Mary Kondo, this does not spark joy.
No.
Cool. All right, let's keep browsing around here. This one looks interesting. Let's look at the slide preview. All right. I don't speak Russian, but I'm going to click on this. All right. We're going to go back. I'm not sure what's going on. Here we go. This looks interesting. Maybe my query wasn't the best it could be. All right, let's go back. Here we go. I'm going to look at mobile websites. All right. Cool. Nice. Beautiful, strong image, a lot of negative space, name, and then here it says extraordinary art director and creative minimalism lover. Okay. All right. Services and your portfolio. Love it. And then it says here start a project. Okay. Cool. And their blog. Let's see what this looks like on mobile. Change this size. All right. I like it. What do you think, Jackie?
Yep. I like the minimalistic idea.
It's definitely a strong website. It's a really like a masculine look, which I think, for our intents and purposes is a good thing. Cool. All right, so we're gonna start off. I'm thinking if we wanted to kind of get inspired here, I like the font. I like the sans serif, really clean look. So I think I want to set my font here to emulate that. So
yeah,
here's what we're gonna do. Last time you inspired me. I think from now on, I'm gonna set it as a personal rule. Every time I go to create a website, set the fonts, pick the colors, make sure everything is saved, and then get in there.
Yeah.
Because that would be maybe the best way to make sure that everything's consistent. I don't know about you, but I kind of like what's going on here with this Anton font.
Anton, I overuse Anton. I have to say, I think if my clients can see all the other clients' website, they will get upset with me because I continuously use the same font on most of my things.
Nice. So let's see what goes well with Anton. Maybe this assistant as an H2.
Yep, definitely. I love those two together.
Okay. And then I think that's it for the font choices. Now we have different weights that we can use. Yeah, let's see. Well, we went with assistant for H2. I think we should have gone with assistant bold. And then our H3 here can be just a normal assistant. And then H4 can be assistant light.
Yeah.
And we do have semi-bold in here. I noticed that before. So we have like a full family. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make sure that it makes sense. So it's bold for H2. And then we'll do semi-bold for H3. And then our H4 can be assistant, just a normal size. H5 can be light. And our paragraph can be assistant again. Here, I'm going to skip H6. I think it's too many. I'm going to do this assistant, but make the size smaller so that when
Yeah.
people type, it's the same font and it's there. All right, beautiful. So now that we've set the fonts, I think I need to redo this one here, right?
And then the color schemes.
And the color schemes. Is there a spot that you recommend that I go, or just a normal settings panel? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to add one at the bottom for our footer and to give us some room here with the panel itself. Here we go. And we're going to start off. All right. Here we go. I'm going to go to this edit. I'm going to go to my background settings. And here's where we're going to pick our colors. So Jackie, here we have a lot of like the blacks and the grays and the charcoal. I'm thinking we probably want to hang out in the same.
We can make use of there is other, let me see if I could find it. There is other color palette generators excluding Canva where you need to upload your image to get the color scheme. But I mean, you can ask for a nice different kinds of color palettes online, or ask AI or whatever the case might be to generate something for us.
Maybe you can walk me through here. So I'm going to upload this image on my Canva board. And let's see. Where do you typically go? Like here for colors?
What I do is, because you're going to use that specific image, it's not going to give us a lot of different color schemes because it's just basically grays and blacks.
Yeah.
And whites. That is part of that. And there is actually you have to upload it to the Canva color generator.
Oh, because it actually, maybe.
But you can use it that way as well.
So if you click on Canva and you go to change the color, it'll give you photo colors.
Yep.
You see that? So I guess that could be where we get our inspiration from. I think it's too dark here, and I think we should go for like a way lighter. Going with this monochrome look, I think is nice, but it does need us to keep everything sort of clean.
Yeah.
Otherwise, things can either get boring or overwhelming. So
yeah, that's the thing. It's that boringness.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think here I want to show people a sneak peek, maybe something that they haven't seen on the Builderall platform. All right. So everyone pay attention. Here's what we're going to do. Last week, we started promoting our new AI image generator. I don't know if anyone here has had the chance to play around with it, but you go to your normal place where you change images, and here at the bottom, this used to say coming soon. It doesn't say coming soon anymore. All right. So let's go through this together. This actually goes through an absolutely great AI system, and it generates beautiful, beautiful, beautiful images. Every account gets their own credits that refresh every single month. For right now, it just resets every month. Later on in the future, if you want to buy more credits, you're going to have that ability. But based on what plan you have, you'll get a specific number of credits. But it is an incredibly powerful tool. So let's go ahead and see if we can create a background image sort of like this one. And I'm thinking of a prompt, Jackie. What would you prompt AI to give you for an image here?
For the top panel.
Yep. Create a monochrome image that shows a black background
with cloudy,
a cloud
or smoke.
of smoke. All right.
Cloud of white smoke. Otherwise, we need to be specific. Of white, gray, and white smoke.
Smoke.
Subtle.
Okay. With a subtle cloud of gray and white smoke.
Situated maybe somewhere in the top, because you don't want it in the middle of the panel. Coming in from the left or the right side.
All right. Cool. Let's see what happens, everyone. We're experimenting together. So this could be either great or an absolute disaster. I trust it, though. I don't think it's going to be. All right. Okay.
Oh, that's not too bad. It's just a little too much.
Yeah. So
make it less.
Let's see. With a small and subtle cloud of gray and white smoke at the top of the image.
Description for AI or prompting is so important.
Yes, I agree. Okay, we're better. We're looking.
I like
better.
the first one, but only that centerpiece could be removed.
Here.
Yeah.
So let's try. And by the way, everyone, all the images that you generate get automatically added back into your files. What I think is absolutely beautiful about this is you can, from one place, you can create this image and then access it wherever you are on the Builderall platform. So if you're
that is also
a website, if you're creating an email, whatever it is, you can see that same image because it lives in this global file repository. And I think this is where we really start to see the power of having one platform that you're working on that's really unified. So let's say
loving that
of the image. Okay, I'm going to actually pick one of these. I know it's a little too much, but I want to pick this image here. We're going to go with this one. And I'm going to apply. And we're going to change the size. What's this going to look like for mobile? Okay.
I mean, you can have it, make it, just add a block over it when we have our content inside the block that is transparent. That will make the text stand out.
Okay. Let's see. Here, my issue is I don't really like the way it stretches. I think it loses some quality.
But you can use it just as is. See what it looks like in mobile if you have it that way.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm sort of not loving the picture, to be honest with you. I think it's kind of busy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go again. We'll try another picture. Oh, sorry about that. I think I just duplicated this image. And
I also want to play around. Now, while you're doing that, I'm tempted to do the same thing here.
Right. Let's see. Let's see. Create a background list background image with a white smoke. Sorry, with a black minimalist black background image with white smoke at the edge of the... Let's see. You ever had one of those days, Jackie, where you go to think and your brain is like a 3 or 4 seconds behind? I feel like
All the
that. Yeah.
time. It's not just one day, it's all the time.
All right. This is interesting. This is interesting. I like this. Yeah. So let's go with it. Let's go with it. I think I'm going to go with this one. Let's see what this looks like. Now let's check out this one. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Okay. All right. I think I'm going to go with this one. What do you think, Jackie?
It's okay. Depends on, you know
Okay.
what, Pierre, the moment we add the text over it with a lightened box or something, it's going to probably look different.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay. All right. All right. So now we need to actually get to work here. What I'm going to do is, because we have a black background, I'm going to use this background panel color. And I want to change it to black. So we'll do this. We'll change this to black. And we'll see what happens. Okay. Here we go. So this black is actually different than the one I picked. So we're just going to change that out. And for this background color, I'm going to say, do you see a difference in this color? Let me change my monitor settings here.
No, not really.
No, I think it's good. Nice. Okay. So for this text box, I'm going to go ahead and add this element, and we're going to do this title, and we're going to change this color here. So if I say trades first, AI agency, let's take this out. Give this guy here. I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
No, I don't either.
I don't hate
That's
it.
why I said the moment when you start adding elements to it, it starts to change the whole look.
Yeah, I really like what's going on here. I think we sort of missed this target. This element here is so much dimmer on this example website that we picked that I think we sort of have too much going on.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know if you agree.
Yeah.
You agree? I feel like you didn't like this image to begin with. Be honest with me, Jackie.
In the beginning, no, but now I feel different about it because of the text that's there.
Okay. So if we say AI first trades agency, or trades first AI agency, and then here.
There is actually another one that I've just found. It's on the same account here. If you just want to test it, maybe.
Yeah, sure. If you want to give me that.
So I don't have to share you. It's on the same account.
An image?
Yeah, that I've just generated. Maybe this one could also, if you can play around with both of them. The second one.
Here?
So if you choose that one,
oh,
but not in a block. So if you go to the panel and you choose the upper right arrow.
The upper right arrow. Tell me where.
Okay, not on that, not with that one. The image that I showed you.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. On this position box. So I'm going to add this image in.
That second one, yes.
Okay.
And then that arrow.
This one?
Yes, and you make it the full panel.
Okay. All right, Jackie. All right.
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
I just think that one, for me personally, resonates a little bit more.
Sure.
But I don't know what it looks like inside of mobile. I didn't check that.
So we're gonna say, call this. What are we gonna say? Mobile first. Something along these lines.
That's such a good thing to do with trades. You know, to let them know the mobile is going to be the most important part. Seeing that, I just love it. I just love that mobile first idea.
I just feel like it makes a lot of sense, just
It
because
does.
when, and especially if we consider the customer, a lot of times they're going to be on their phone, right?
Exactly.
Nwanza is asking if we can use an overlay to dim. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. You can actually do an interesting amount of photo editing on Builderall directly in the platform. So let me just show you real quickly. You can add, you can flip, you can crop, you can rotate, you can draw, you can add a mask, and you can upload a mask image. You can have a filter. You can reduce brightness or increase. You can remove white. You can do all sorts of really cool things. You can add a tint, blend. You can emboss, blur. So you can set some features here and kind of turn it on and off. I think it's interesting, especially if all you need is like a small little tweak or to change like a quick crop. You don't have to leave the platform and then, obviously like download the image, upload it back into Builderall, do any of that stuff. So we're going to keep this here for right now. As is. Trades First AI agency, mobile experiences for your customers that match their lifestyles. Let's just say that. All right. So we sort of identified the problem. We're sort of saying, other agencies are going to give you, a canned product, a template that doesn't match your target audience. We're going to make sure to think about, how people are going to connect with your business. We know it's going to be on their phones first, so we're going to tailor that for the phones. So I'm going to go ahead and save, and we're going to take a look here at this mobile version and make sure it's really nice and kosher. So I like how it starts off. I think maybe later on I don't even know if we need a header. What do you think, Jackie? I don't think we need a header.
No.
So I'm going to add some room here at the top. All right. Maybe just a little bit more. And that's going to bring everything down. And if I need to make more space, I can toggle between these, or less space, I can toggle and move these elements and make sure they're really nice and friendly on a mobile screen. So I think this might be a little too large for a phone. What do you think, Jackie? This space? Maybe it's too much for the phone.
The space is but you can make the space less, I'm sure.
Yep. Here, we can do this. Come back up to the top. We're looking for that minimum height. Here we go. All right, so something like this. And then we're going to engage our audience with that second panel. So I think for right now, this is actually looking good on both devices, right? So I'm happy with this. Cool. So for the second panel, we want to pique people's interest. So let's have a quick conversation about that. Again, we mentioned we want to solve problems. We want to state that we can solve problems. So maybe for next time we can continue with the second and third panel. I know today we sort of roughed everything up. I did a lot of talking, and I promise I'll drive again next week. But I think this is a strong start for this page. I think as an agency, you want some sort of creative element in your landing page, but not too much, right? So
Exactly.
and I think we're successfully threading this line for right now. So we'll see. I might go off the deep end, and you might come back next week, Jackie, and I have like too many bad ideas. But if I
No.
do, you'll just have to stop me.
No, I think that's great. I think it looks good.
Yeah. What I don't like is the way the word customers is here. So we'll see. I think I'll need to go back here and make sure that the line break. Yeah. So you want to make sure sometimes when you hit enter, guys, it'll force the text to
Text
do a
down.
line break instead of using the box itself and the dimensions of the box. So where you can, you want the box to be that constraint that forces the
Yeah.
sentence down. If that makes sense here. Yeah, just like that. And we'll make it a little bit smaller from left to right. Yeah. I like that. I think this is solid. So here we are. Cool. So I'm going to save. I'm going to publish. I'm going to share this link in the comment section so that you can go to this website live and see it happen. Here we go. It's live right now. So you can check it on your phone, check it on your computer. We're going to continue to build out this page. I think it's going to be a cool exploration for next
I
time.
think so too. Definitely.
Nice. Jackie, what do you think? How are we starting off?
I think it's a great start. I have to say in the beginning, I was thinking, yeah, I don't know so much.
Yeah.
But it's like I said, the moment the elements are being placed, it starts to change the way it looks. It's just
And hey,
you can't just have one item there and think, oh, it doesn't really. I thought in the beginning the smoke might not do that, but it does.
And we might finish up the page and decide the smoke is a little too much. You know what I mean? And we can change it, and that's okay. What I like about Builderall is that you can build with your mouse, with your eyes.
Yeah.
Using other platforms, a lot of times it's let me change this code and refresh the page and go over and make sure to see a preview and see what that looks like. Here you design as you would see it in real life, and that gives your creativity a little bit more room to sort of play around. So we'll see what happens. I'm hopeful at the beginning, to start this off. I think it's going to be a strong page. I like what's going on here. I think I'd like to keep this.
Yes, definitely.
With the hover, with the hover boxes and this content. I think there's a lot of room to play around, and I'm excited to see what happens.
Definitely.
Cool. All right. Well, that's our time for today. Thank you all, as always, for being with us week over week. We love seeing it. We love your engagement.
And thank you so much, guys, for being here. And remember our upcoming workshop next week.
Yes.
Please don't forget that. It's really, really important.
Next week, Marketing 101. Clarabelle, we can answer your question on next week's workshop. You can attend and just remind me that you want to discuss niche audiences, niche markets, and how to decide whether or not you need to go in further. Because a lot of times, what you don't want is too many pages, and then every time you want an update, you have to update 15 pages.
So many pages.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we can talk about that too. But Jackie, I'm excited. I will say it's a little nerve-wracking having you watch me work, just because I know you're probably thinking in the back of your mind, you know how to do it. And you're like, hey, no, that's push that.
No, but that's how we learn. I mean, I learned so much with you regarding the marketing part of it as well. And
Now I
you
get
know
that.
what? You can never, how do they say, you can never not learn enough. You can be a doctor or you can have a PhD, and doesn't matter what, you will still learn, because there's always new things happening with new ideas, new people's things that, I mean, looking what you do, I would do if I'm a person that is just color everywhere
Right.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's a total different
Approach.
way of doing it. And it makes you just shows there's a space for all of us.
That's
when
right.
it comes to designs. And we need to be like that with our clients. You can't just create websites for what you like.
Mm-hmm.
How does your audience is going to see it?
Right.
How do they going to resonate with it?
Love it.
I mean, if you think about it, let's say we create our agency looking like the kindergarten template. You're going to chase them away because it's just not the right template to use.
Right. I agree with that very, very deeply. So
perfect.
Cool.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for attending and being here. If you guys are watching the replay, let us know in the comments. I know we always say that on Facebook, but even in YouTube, if we know that you've actually watched a replay and not the actual live, it's good to know the numbers, to know what has been happening and who is watching and who's not watching immediately, and your thoughts and your ideas. Let us know. It's really, really good. All right.
Well,
thank you, guys. Have a good day.
We'll see you later.
Bye.